Hi viewers, in this video we are going to bring you the entire story of mighty Titanic. The RMS Titanic was the British passenger ship which sank in 1912 and made world history as one of the greatest and destructive moment in entire world. We are going to discuss all the story of this Titanic from its beginning to the end and aftermath. First of all, let us discuss the construction and design of this ship. Owner. The owner of this ship is White Star Line, a shipping company owned by J.P. Morgan's International Mercantile Marine Co. and shipyard Herald and Wolff. The construction began on March 31st, 1909. Launch date. The first launch date was May 31, 1911. The completion of this project of constructing this ship was April 2, 1912. The size of the ship is about 882 feet 9 inches and long 92 feet and 6 inches width. 882 feet and 9 inches long as well as 92 feet 6 inches width. Tonnage about 46,328 gross tons. Passenger capacity is about 2,435 people with crew members. So the total capacity of this ship is 2,435 with 892 crew members. What are the luxury features in this ship? The first of all is grand staircase is available. Swimming pool was available. Gymnasium, Turkish bath, first class cabins with opulent interiors. These kind of luxurious facilities were available. The Titanic was selected one of the 3 Olympic class ocean liner ships. So together there are 3 Olympic class ocean liners. The first one is Titanic. Other 2 sister ships were Olympic and Britannic. The Titanic was luxurious, so much luxurious, and one of the most luxurious ship at that time. That's why it was made announced unsinkable due to its advanced safety features, including water boards and electricity control doors. However, later the story changed. Now let us discuss the maiden voyage or the first voyage, that was the last voyage also of the mighty Titanic. The departure date of this voyage was April 10, 1912 from Southampton, England. It stopped at first as in Cherbourg, France, Queenstown. Now it is called Cobb Island. It is located in Cobb Island. The destination was New York City, USA. Passengers were about 2,224 people aboard. About 2,224 people aboard, mixed with wealthy class families, immigrants and third class passengers. The captain of this ship was at that time Edward J. Smith, who was the veteran White Star Line commander. Now let us discuss the sad event of the world history, that is the sinking of this ship. It occurred on April 14 to 15, 1912. After about 2 days of the departure, because the ship was departed on April 12, 1912 and it has met its destructive destination on April 14 to 15, that was midnight in 1912. On April 14, 1912, about 11:40 p.m., lookout spotted an iceberg. The ship was unable to turn quickly enough due to its size and speed. It means the ship was very lengthier and its width also marvelous. So even though the captain of the ship and other crew members spotted a large iceberg on the way of the ship that was traveling cannot able to or unable to quickly change its direction away from that iceberg. That was the primary reason for the collision of the iceberg with the iceberg. The iceberg was spotted or lookouts at 11:40 p.m. of April 14, 1912. Starboard side struck. It was the main damage was caused to the starboard side. The iceberg that was spotted was very large enough. It was blocked the starboard side of the ship. The starboard side was made by the steel plates popping rivers, allowing water to flood 6 watertight compartments. So first of all, the starboard of the ship hit with the iceberg, one of the largest iceberg, which allowed the water to enter slowly to all 6-yard ship. And this is the primary reason for the sinking of the ship. After that, the ship takes about 6 hours to fully sink. So the evacuation and rescue process, how it was held, let us discuss now. Actually, in order to make the rescue and evacuation, there are only 20 lifeboats available for about 2000 people. So that was one of the main reasons that hindered or that made unsuccessful rescue process. The next one was the distress signals. The Titanic, after its final collision of that iceberg, it fired the destructive distress signals to the one of nearest ship, RMS Carpathia. But this ship was too late to arrive. When this RMS Carpathia ship is reached Titanic, the most of the crew members already dead. The final moment was at 2:20 a.m. on April 15. So the ship has started sinking about 11:40 p.m. on April 14, 1912. The final moment of sinking occurred at 2:20 a.m. on April 15, the next day. So it has taken about 6 hours for this ship to fully sink. The Titanic broke apart and sank, leaving over 1,500 people in the freezing North Atlantic Ocean. Who are the casualties? Only about 710 people are survivors. All others are casualties. So among the survivors, that is only 710 from 2020 people or crew members. The most of the survivors are women and children. Deaths: about 1,514 people died due to this very destructive event. That was the one of very much destructive event in the whole human history, not only in the marine history but whole world history. Because the main reason for this death is hypothermia. The hypothermia is a condition that caused due to the freezing water. The water of Atlantic Ocean was at that time is just -2 degrees Celsius. So most of the people who are waiting in the water of about -2 degrees Celsius of temperature freeze to death before the arrival of the rescue ship. Then let us discuss the aftermath of the investigation. The inquiries after the sinking of this mighty ship was undertaken by Britain and US governments. They have made the all safety measurement and found the main reason for this destructive event. Then they have announced the international safety rules for the ships. The first one is International Ice Patrol, established to monitor icebergs. The International Ice Patrol was a system that has introduced in large ships that always monitor any oncoming iceberg danger. The next one is lifeboat requirements. So they have announced enough life-saving boat requirement is must in each and every passenger ships. After that, they have also introduced the 24-hour radio watch that was made necessary as well as compulsory. 24-hour radio watch means the ship is monitored remotely using the radio waves by the other ships, other nearby ships and ships companies. Its routes and its other dangers are watched all 24 hours. Due to these safety measurements after the destructive Titanic event, they were able to reduce these kind of very destructive events afterwards. Then let us discuss about the discoveries of the wreck of this ship. After about 75 years of the sinking of the ship, first part of the wreck of the ship was found on September 1, 1985 by a team led by Robert Ballard and James Louis Michael. The location where the wreck of the ship was found was about 600 km or 370 miles southeast of Newfoundland. Newfoundland is one of the islands in the Atlantic Ocean. It was found at the depth of about 12,500 feet or 3,800 miles underneath the ocean. The condition of the wreck is very destructive due to the bacteria, rust and deep sea currents. Legacy and cultural impact. The legacy that created by the sinking of this multi-Titanic is very large. There are many books and many movies produced using the destructive history of the Titanic. The one of the very famous movie was directed by James Cameron, the great director of America. It was named Titanic. The movie was released in 1997 and became one of the highest grossing movie in the world. Then the museum and exhibitions also maintained. Right now, the wrecks of the Titanic are preserved in a museum, and there are many exhibitions worldwide conducted using the wrecks of the Titanic. Memorials. The monument exists in the Belfast, Southampton, New York and Halifax, where many victims were buried. So these memorials were conducted annually on the date of the sinking of Titanic. Finally, Let us discuss what are the myths of this Titanic event, destructive event. It was the claim, unsinkable claim. Actually, the White Star Line never officially called it is unsinkable, but it was a myth. So right now the people say that the company has claimed that the ship was unsinkable is a myth. It was made by other people. So the company was not officially claim the sink is unsinkable. So that is a myth. The next myth is alternative theories. Alternative theories mean the scientifically proved theory is the Titanic met its destructive end due to the iceberg. But there are alternative theories. Some suggest a coal fire. The coal fire weakened the hull, but most experts dismiss this. It means that the coal fire was the reason for the Titanic's destructive end. The third myth is the Titanic curse. Some claim the ship was doomed due to its name. The name of the Titanic, according to the Greek mythology, is referring the danger. So, since the ship carries this name, it met its end. That also one of the myth. The curse of Titanic is one of the myth. So far we have discussed the destructive, one of the great destructive event of entire human history that occurred for that mighty Titanic ship in 1912. Anyway, the Titanic remains the symbol of human ambition, tragedy, and lessons learned to maintain safety. Its story is continuous to fascinate people worldwide, serving as a reminder of both technological as well as the bravery of those who perished. So the Titanic remains in our hearts. The people who met the destructive end always remain in our heart. The Titanic is the symbol for the luxurious as well as the destruction. After the great end of the Titanic, the world changed, not only in the marine side, the entire world economy as well as the decision making of the government has changed. The Titanic has made the greatest emotional as well as technological scientific results in human history. We hope you have enjoyed this video with the tears in your eye because of the destructive nature and end of the Titanic. And please subscribe and join with us for more videos, more similar videos in this channel. Thank you for watching.